can see homicide detectives working right now. They're collecting evidence, trying to determine what led to a man being stabbed to death at this bus stop here near First and Prince. You don't have to take my word for it. You can ask any one of these drivers who's up and at 'em early this morning, taking advantage of the Twin Peaks interchange. I'm standing near this river of sewage, and let me just tell you, climbing down the ladder a few feet, the putrid smell really intensifies. So this is how you use the chop saw. These pieces are going to be used on the trusses going up. And over here you can see where the bullets pierced through that metal grate. Looks as though maybe a shotgun did some of that damage. Now we're going to go inside right now because this is only the beginning. Union workers are being dropped off by the busload this morning outside of City Hall. And I want you to take a good look at the crowd. We now have a closer look for you. Now you can actually see the house where this deadly shooting and another shooting took place last night. Tucson police swarming the area of the address 6001 South Park. That is where close to a dozen illegal immigrants were being held against their will. And actually, board this B-24. We're going to give you a live look inside. Take a look at the mess that Mother Nature has left here in Green Valley. This is what's posing the most problems for firefighters. They tell me that this dry brush and grass, it was that odor that led deputies to 2 decaying bodies here. But it didn't make the turn onto 22nd. Instead, it came smashing through the brick wall. Then if you follow me over here, you can see it ended up in this person's garage. Because as you can see, the moment we've all been waiting for, the Wildcats are here. You can hear them calling plays. But I want to point out the reason we're here in the first place. It's this brand new turf here at Salt Point High School. They're very proud of it.
Live, local, late breaking. This is KOLD News 13, live.
From miles away, it looked as though all of Tombstone may burn to the ground.
I'm telling you, flames were curling this way. All I could think was Allen Street was going to burn down. All the buildings in the back were going to burn down. And that was more, I was really concerned about that. I knew I was done, but I was so concerned that it was going to take out Allen Street, and we can't have that happen.
It took Mike Carafa years to build a 6-gun city restaurant, but it only took this fiery monster minutes to swallow it up.
There was a stage over here, and all along here, where you see all the burnt, that was the set where the gunfighters would be.
When the shock subsided, Mike's hopes fell with his tears. Can you even describe it?
Nah, it's pretty devastating. I built the whole thing.
But perhaps more devastating for Mike than the fire itself is the reality that his employees will be out of work.
There's over 30 people working here, and now they're all out without any jobs. And they're gonna have a hard time paying their rent and bills and everything. And it's just a real shame for even the owner, Mike, because like I told you, he's a great guy, and him and his family had everything in this establishment. And it's just a really sad moment for everybody here.
But had it not been for the fast-acting fire crews from Tombstone, Huachuca City, and Whetstone, Mike may not even have a town to do business in anymore.
They did an awesome job. Awesome job.
It's no wonder this town is too tough to die. Although this local's favorite didn't survive the flames, because of Tombstone's volunteer firefighters, they can be credited for saving the rest of the town from ruin today. I'm Lauren Burgoyne for KOLD News 13, live local late breaking. It was supposed to be home sweet home for this newly married couple.
You see how it's bendy and wavy? Or over here in the entryway?
But after Javier and Nicole Velasquez moved into their house in December of 2006, the honeymoon was over.
It's our first home together. We're trying to move in, start our new life, and then the nightmare starts, I guess.
Their builder, Redline Construction, went bankrupt in 2007 and left a lot of unfinished business at their house and several others in the neighborhood.
We have plumbing that doesn't work, no pressure regulator on the house, a shower that just didn't work at all. So we had to get that fixed right away. Some of our roofing material is the wrong material, so it's bent and warped.
But the view from outside isn't any prettier. The exterior wall was built in the wrong place. Even the mailbox was constructed incorrectly. And perhaps one of the largest errors is one you can't even see. There's supposed to be a crawl space in this garage, but added on to the list of things that just weren't added to the house. So Javier filed a claim with the Residential Contractors Recovery Fund in February of 2008 for the maximum amount, $30,000.
A restitution fund for homeowners who have been ripped off by contractors, either by being abandoned by a contractor or doing faulty work.
Registered contractors contribute to the fund like an insurance plan, but getting paid is a lengthy process involving multiple home inspections and a court hearing for the contractor in question. The Velasquez's claim went through, but now they're waiting in line to get paid like hundreds of others. And now the director of the ROC is worried the fund will run out.
Important to note also is that we receive no tax dollars whatsoever. It's totally funded by fees from contractors, but the legislature, starting in last September, has swept millions of dollars from the fund.
From September of 2008 to September of 2009, Arizona legislators took more than $8 million from the $12 million fund. Now there's a little more than $1 million left.
We've paid historically, we pay between $400,000 and $500,000 per month. So you do the math, we're going to run out of money in 3 months.
So where did the money go? We tracked down Dean Martin, the state treasurer, to find out.
What the state's been doing is, rather than balancing the budget, rather than the legislature and the governor reducing the general fund spending so that it matches revenues, they basically have been stealing funds, stealing money from other funds like this registrar's fund.
The House Appropriations Committee Chair, John Kavanaugh, says they transferred the money to the general fund and paying it back isn't realistic.
It's going to take a variety of tools to get us out of this mess. One of those tools is dipping into accounts that have excess funds that aren't needed to help us temporarily bridge the gap.
And other people have used the words swiping from the fund or stealing from the fund. Do you see it that way?
No. Stealing involves taking something you legally can't do. We legally can take these funds.
As for Javier and Nicole, Representative Kavanaugh says every homeowner who is entitled will get paid, even if it means taking from another fund to do it.
It's hard to describe. After this long, we're just kind of defeated because, you know, there are things we want to do, things we can't afford to do, and now we're looking for help from the state to get us over the hump, but we're still waiting.
I'm Lauren Burgoyne for KOLD News 13, live local late breaking. Meet Ruthie, Leggy, Lizzie, and Rhoda. It's easy to see these chickens rule the roost at the Olson household, or at least the backyard.
They talk to us. Believe it or not, they all have different voices and different sounds for different types of things.
And since we don't speak chicken just yet, like their mother hen, Kathy Olson, we'll let her husband, Paul, give us the tour.
I call it the Hen Hilton.
Okay.
And it's all set up for our 4 hot chicks. It's got 3 bedrooms back here and 3 nesting boxes and a pool view.
With this fine feathered audience, it's easy for Paul to crack jokes.
I'm a real estate broker. I'm not Old MacDonald. However, my neighbors kind of think that maybe Jed Clampett might have moved into the neighborhood.
The Olsons' backyard is just one of 15 stops on the City Chickens Coop tour, put on by the Food Conspiracy Co-op.
The last tour we did, my boss actually wasn't sure that it would even be a successful event. We thought maybe 100 people would go. We were all pretty floored by the response and the interest that we got.
Tori Ligon's backyard is another attraction, but she's not winging it today. Tori created the self-guided tour to share the benefits of these backyard birds, like the free fertilizer and, of course, the fresh eggs.
You know everything that went into those eggs, so you can feel really comfortable about the quality of the food.
For the Olsons, these pets have become part of the family.
My little girl. Payback is I've got 4 little friends. One of them who comes and sits up on my lap in the morning when I drink my coffee.
And perhaps the most valuable lesson I learned on the chicken coop tour today is how to make these feathered birds my friends. A bowl and some sunflower seeds. Eat up, guys. I'm Lauren Burgoyne for KOLD News 13, live local late breaking.